Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Sarita, and today I'm going to break down the simple brain science behind why our kids push back so hard. I'll teach you 4 practical steps to turn any conflict into connection with your teenager so you can stop fighting the pushback and start guiding your teen towards healthy independence. Does your teen slam the door and yell, "Stop telling me what to do"? Their eye rolls are nonstop. The demand for privacy is absolute. Every instruction, every suggestion, every basic question about their day is met with a wall of resistance. And it feels personal, right? It feels like disrespect. It feels like they're actively pushing you away, like they're rejecting the years of effort and love you poured into them. If this resonates with you, I want you to take a deep breath with me because here is the big secret. Their pushback is not about disrespecting you and it's not personal. It's not even a choice they're fully making. It's about their development. Their pushback, the intense need for space and control, is the sound of your child's brain actively rewiring itself to become a healthy, independent adult. They are growing up and their brain is literally forcing them to try and stand on their own 2 feet. Today, we're going to look at why this happens and how you can stop fighting and start guiding your teenager. So let's start with understanding what's actually happening in their brain. Between the ages of roughly 9 and 13, your child's brain is entering a massive construction zone. Think of it like a huge, high-speed freeway being built. Their feelings and impulses are running fast on the main lanes, but the exit ramp for control and pausing is still closed for construction. They can speed up easily, but they don't have an easy way to slow down. There are 2 key areas in the brain that are competing for control. One of them is amygdala, which is the part of the brain that's responsible for processing emotion, fear, and those immediate fight or flight reactions. During these years, their amygdala is highly sensitive. It registers perceived threats much faster and more intensely than an adult brain. So a gentle correction can feel like a life or death situation for them. It's highly active, so it floods the system with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline at the slightest trigger. This is why their feelings are so intense. A forgotten jacket is not just a forgotten jacket, it becomes the end of the world for them. And a minor change in the plan triggers a massive meltdown. They don't have small feelings, they have big tidal wave feelings. The other part of the brain is called prefrontal cortex, which is the decision making, the planning, the logic, and the impulse control center in the brain. Guess what? The prefrontal cortex in your child's brain is still developing. That means the signals are slow and inefficient. It's like having a high powered race car with broken brakes. The result of imbalance between these 2 parts of the brain results in their common behaviors. They test boundaries. Since their prefrontal cortex isn't fully operational, they have to physically test boundaries to learn where they truly are. They need structure, but they're developmentally driven to push against it to see what happens. Their social brain lights up. Their need for social acceptance literally triggers the reward centers in their brain. They start caring deeply about what their peers think because evolutionary biology is driving them to seek their place in the larger social tribe and move away from the family unit. They start forming their separate identity. They ask for emotional and physical distance from you and need for space because they want to figure out what they are when you're not around. They start having risky behaviors because the rush of dopamine they get from taking risk is intensified. And this happens because their prefrontal cortex isn't yet fully capable of weighing the long-term consequences. So when your 13-year-old child rolls their eyes at you, they're not consciously thinking, how can I hurt my parents' feelings right now? They're involuntarily thinking, I must assert my independence right now. And this shift is not rebellion. It's a normal, expected, and profoundly healthy shift. And our goal as parents is to move from reacting to this shift to guiding the shift. Today, I'm going to give you 4 easy steps that can be used to convert any conflict into connection with your child. Step number 1, curious. So when a conflict starts, shift your energy from controlling the outcome to understanding the internal experience of your child. Curiosity disarms your child fight or flight response. The moment you demand compliance, the defensive walls go up. But when you ask clarifying questions, you show respect for their perspective. You teach them how to articulate their feelings, which eventually helps them build emotional intelligence. For example, if your child refuses to go for an activity that he or she up for, instead of saying something like, "No, you signed up for the whole season, you have to stick it out," you can say something like, "I see you're really unhappy with this. Can you tell me what's the biggest reason for refusing to go? Is it the coach? Is it the time commitment? Or another scenario could be if your child is aggressively demanding for a more expensive phone. Instead of shutting them down, you can say something like, I hear how much this phone matters to you. What is more important about that model right now? Is it the camera? Is it the speed of the phone? Or is it because one of your other friends have it? Help me understand the pressure you feel. Step number 2, acknowledge their feelings. Validation is the valve that releases emotional pressure. So before you correct a behavior, acknowledge your child's feeling behind it. This makes them feel seen and understood. If your child's feeling is frustration or powerlessness, it's often valid, even if their resulting behavior, which could be eye rolling or slamming the door, is not. When you acknowledge their feeling first, you create a connection that's necessary for them to hear you. So instead of fighting, start validating their feelings. For example, if your child's rolling eyes at you, instead of focusing on the disrespect and telling them to stop rolling the eyes, you can say something like, I see you're feeling really frustrated right now, and it's hard for you, but we can talk more about it. If your child is yelling and saying, oh, it's not fair, I always have to do the worst chores, you can say something like, you feel like the chore division is totally unfair, and I hear that. Let's look at the chore list again together after you've calmed down. Step number 3, limit, which means you hold steady boundaries. You have to be the calm and consistent CEO of your family because boundaries provide the safe structure within which your child can test their limits and grow. Inconsistency teaches a child that if they argue long enough with their parent or loudly enough with their parent, the boundary will move. So, consistency is the language of trust. You have to maintain the calm authority without being drawn into the argument. For example, if your boundary is that the phone has to stay downstairs after 9 p.m. and your child's fighting it, you can say something like, I know it feels unfair right now, but the phone stays downstairs at 9 p.m. and this boundary stands. Step number 4, you make a choice, which means you offer them options. You can give your child the illusion of control by offering small, pre approved choices because this satisfies their developmental need for independence while you maintain the non negotiable expectation. Independence is about having control. You choose the battlefield by defining two acceptable paths. And this avoids the power struggle that comes from pure command when you tell your child, do it now. For example, if your child has a messy room, you can talk to them and tell them, Leo, the expectation is that your room is clean. You can do that now or you can do it after the dinner. The choice is yours. Now, let's recap the first step. Step number 1, be curious. Step number 2, validate their feelings. Step number 3, define the boundary and stick to it. Step number 4, you guide their developing brain to make healthier choices. Now, one of the most important things that you can do to avoid conflicts is to connect with your child outside of conflict. What does that mean? That means that you fill their emotional tank during low pressure positive moments so they have more emotional resources to handle the expectations during the conflict. If the only time to you talk to your child is to correct them, they will associate you with negativity. So you schedule a non transactional time where you ask nothing of them. And this lowers their defensive response. You can do 5 minutes of their thing every day, where you sit with your child while they play their video game or they watch their favorite show or when they're doing their homework and ask open ended questions about their world without any judgment. Remember, your job is not to stop their growth, but to lead it calmly. This is the hardest but most rewarding stage of parenting. Your teen's pushback is not a problem for you to fix. It's not a failure of your parenting. It's a sign of healthy, necessary, and powerful growth. If this resonates with you, please like and subscribe the video. If you need more support, you can connect with me directly by scheduling a free parenting roadmap call on www.parentingrefresh.com.